The day has come to move the Crest 8600 into the living room. I think this is going to look really nice with the Christmas decorations. So first thing we got to do is get this canceled out of the kitchen here, and then we'll get it in here. It's a shame that this is not more powerful, because this is a really cool install aesthetically, but the performance is just lackluster. Okay, is it a number 2? Let's see. That's not the one we're going to use. We're going to do this one. Okay, it is this bigger one. Good. I'm really starting to wonder how many different versions of this fan are out there. This one is more similar than this one to the one that my aunt and uncle had in the kitchen. But it's still not identical, because I don't remember the cane having this pink backing to it. And I don't think that this was, or no, I know that these were not the shades that were on that fan. What I don't know is if the shades on that fan were original or not. It is possible that they were not original, but I think that's kind of unlikely. This is the first time I'm going to have an antique brass fan in here up against these lights, the polished brass lights. Very curious to see how this is going to work. This is not really a good test case because the Christmas decorations are a major focal point and will detract from At least I think that they will detract from the clash of the fan and the lights, but I'm not sure. And because we have to mess with the down rod and everything, I'm going to take the light shades off. I also like to put brighter bulbs in here too, because once I turn I'm going to take the bulbs out of the spotlights, you know, because we're using the garland. I want to have this with some regular lights, you know, to use when I clean the stove or whatever, and vacuuming, etc. Geez, these really do not want to come off of here. I suppose that's a good thing. These are nice, thick, heavy shades too. They're not cheap junk. This is really quite annoying, actually. Why is it like that? This is busted. Another thing to fix. Everything's broken around here. It's constant. You know, you just do anything and something just breaks. Okay, now the fan connection is live. Oh no. We're going to work on it live because there's... Huh? Okay, that's not good. Because that means there is a busted live wire in this box. See, just like I said before, something always breaks. It's constant around here. Well, this might have just turned this into a more complicated project. What the heck? You can't make this stuff up if you tried. Alright, so this is our switched feed for the light. This is the ground. Here's the common. But where did that... I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just take the fan down and figure it out as we progress here. That's kind of ridiculous. I don't think that that matters. I don't think that that's going to really affect anything, but so find out. Now, funny that that happened, or rather ironic that that happened, because it was suggested to me that I should be using those stupid Wago things instead of the conventional twist-on wire connectors like we're using here, because that wouldn't happen. And that's valid. This would not have happened if this was connected with one of those stupid dinky little lever connector pieces of junk. I've long opposed those things. And after all the suggestions I got in the comments box, I finally said, let me just buy them and try them so that I can say for certain that they're stupid. So I bought a couple. And I can now say for certain I think they're stupid. I can't fathom carrying any amount of current through one of those things, but something like this, you know, 6.6 or 0.7 amps for a fan motor, maybe. Now we got to figure out what the heck just broke in that box. Because I'm probably going to, well, what I'm probably going to do is take this and put it in there just for the heck of it. And do a video and then swap it out for the light. Or maybe I'll keep it, who knows. But, yeah, so something broke. Man. Can't catch a break from this kind of nonsense. Yes, I am cheap and I reuse the gloves. And they're not getting dirty, there's no reason not to. This is just to keep the fan's finish preserved. Okay, so I think what happened was the wire broke off inside of here, I think, because this is the live connection. There we go. So, fortunately this is a non-issue in this particular instance because this connection is fine, and we'll just leave that alone. Now, that is a potentially dangerous, what was going on there. I think what happened was when the fan was shaking, because we had 1 and 2 and 3, whatever the heck, stupid dumb blade configurations on there, I'm guessing it just flexed the wire enough times that it broke. And my concern with those stupid Wago things is that if you move the wire at all inside those things, it seems to just release the wire. So quite possibly it wouldn't have helped in this case. It would have just come out, maybe. I don't know. Either way, I don't like those things. I'm going to try it for this install here in the living room with this fan, just for the curiosity of it, see how it compares in terms of working with the regular twist-on connectors. The problem with these twist-on connectors with this frequent usage that we have over here is that after so many times of bending a solid piece of wire as opposed to a stranded wire, it'll break. It's the nature of the wire. So because we change the fan so frequently in here, this might be a special use case where using the stupid Wago connectors inside the box, where it's only passing an amp or 2 of current, might actually make sense because of the frequent changing. I would never, ever consider using one of those stupid things in an outlet box or any kind of junction box that carries any significant amount of current, because I just don't think it makes a good enough mechanical connection. And you can disagree and use them, and that's fine. I'm not. Great. Now, the fact that that wire broke is not a big deal, because when I put all these boxes in, I left a lot of slack upstairs, knowing that the wire would eventually break and have to be replaced. So all I got to do is go upstairs and push a couple more inches of that wire back in. Wow, this motor is like maybe 100 degrees, and this has been running on high for days. That's amazing. I tell you, these cast motors run so much cooler. These are excellent quality fans. It's a shame that this one in particular does not move more air. I really do think this is pretty much a top-notch quality product. Surprisingly, and I shouldn't say this because now it's going to break, this wire I don't think is ever broken. Clean the ceiling up here. Normally I do not recommend handling ceiling fans with the blades attached, but this is small enough that, and light enough that I can do this safely. And since I'm going to install it in the kitchen, this just be a waste of time to take all the blades off. What have we got for pellets left? We've got to add some more, otherwise we're going to freeze tonight. These screws need to stay in the kitchen. This ladder was such a great investment. I used the one that I used to use earlier this evening dealing with the Christmas lights, and I forgot how awful that ladder was. This has really allowed me to easily change the fan out much more frequently in here, which is great. I think this ladder has already paid for itself many times over. So this wire we don't have a lot of slack on because I didn't put this in. This was here when I moved in. We got very lucky with it being a 3-wire, 3-conductor, so I didn't have to rerun it. But case in point, there's not a lot of slack. There is a little bit, interestingly enough. I can probably pull another 8 to 10 inches into the box, but eventually this wire will need to be replaced as it breaks. Which is not a normal problem to have. You know, most people don't change the ceiling fan more than every couple decades, but around here, you know, it's got to get changed every couple of weeks, because why be normal? Is this just out of charge, or is it just being stupid? I think it was just being stupid. The heck is this grounding wire so short? That is stupid. I'm going to have to cut these and strip it back. These things are all over the floor already. I'm going to have to cut these and strip it back to correct length for the stupid Wago thing. And then this, I'll have to rearrange that. No, I'm not done with that. I need a better tool. Klein Tools, made in USA. Oh, here we go with these. I don't like these, but I am going to give it a fair shot. So I have to cut this unless I can I reliably straighten this out? Sometimes it breaks. No, I think I got it. So now the question is, how far back does this need to be stripped? This to me just screams like, I can't barely do my job right. I don't want to work with my hands and do it correctly and take the time to do it nicely, so I need to use this. This just screams like cheap, shortcut, junk work. That's what it feels like to me. Not my style. See, I don't like how it can just freely turn around like that. That really bothers me. If this would go on here and then stay, I think I could tolerate it. But the fact that it just so easily moves around, because like with the ceiling fan, for example, let's say there's a slight sway to it and it goes like this. Eventually, it'll work itself loose. Now, I suppose you can make the same argument with the twist-on connector in the sense that the wire is just going to break, but rather the wire break off than just have a blank wires floating around in the box because the stupid connector was cheesy. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna try it. I'll see how it goes. Ugh. Can't believe I'm using these things. I hate this. I really do. You can't convince me that this is not a better connection. Don't like it. Do not like it at all. I don't like it. All right, now we got to figure out this down rod situation. So we have some We have some 14.3 here because the lead wires in that are very short. So we have some 14.3 which we will use to pass through the down rod. Now this is a threaded rod, and it does have the pass-through for that. Alright, so the threaded side will go by the fan. These are nice craft-made down rods. Much nicer than those awful Hunter ones that I got. So what we're going to do here is we are going to cut all this to different lengths. So we'll start with the bond, and then we'll cut this a little bit shorter, and then we'll cut this a little bit shorter, and then we'll cut this a little bit shorter. And we can cut a little bit more of the insulation back. We got plenty of slack to work with. And the reason we're doing this tapered cutting is because when we put this into the down rod, none of these connectors are going to overlap. So it should fit through the rod without too much grief. It's not going to be a perfect fit, but it should fit better. Now the question becomes, and this is one of the things that came up in the comments, allegedly these stupid lever cheesy connector things fit better in the down rod than the twist on wire connector. So there's our sample of what's going to have to fit in here, and that fits very nicely. No complaints with that fit. I can't take these things seriously. Huh, these actually don't fit. That's a very, very tight fit. So in this particular case, the twist-on wire connectors win again. Now, if this is a 1/2 rod, if it was a 3/4 rod, I suppose the stupid Wago connectors would fit just fine. But this fan calls for a 1/2. Okay, and then so this is going to have to slide up into the fan and sit kind of like this. So I'll probably cut this end I'll cut this right around here. Now the proper solution to this is to replace the fan's lead wires. That's the correct way to do this. I feel like this is perfectly safe. I mean, the connection is still enclosed in metal. I don't see an issue with it, but if you want to get technically correct, you should be replacing the lead wires. And we'll strip all these out down here on the ground rather than up at the ceiling. I suppose if you use these regularly, you'd have a better feel for where the wire needs to be stripped back. But being bound to a specific length, to me, is a nuisance. Did I really not put 4? What the heck? I need 4 for this task. Okay, well, I gotta go get another one. I got a 3rd. Nope, I got a 4th. I think I stripped those back a little bit too much.
Oh, we don't even need the bonding wire. It's not serving any purpose here. These are really nice down rods. These are from the Crest brand, and they are much nicer quality in terms of the finish than those Hunter ones that I got. Those Hunter ones are horrible quality, which is disappointing because Hunter used to be a good quality brand. But these look perfect. I don't see any defects in the finish. It's really quite a nice finish too. It's not a perfect match, but from up on the ceiling you're not going to notice. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this bond off because it's not serving any purpose here. Yeah, we don't really need it on the other side here either. We'll put both of those pieces in the "why didn't you throw that out" pieces of wire bin and probably use them at some point. Now, ironically, I guess I only needed 3 twist-on wire connectors at all, or in the first place, but I thought I needed 4 because I thought it was grounded. Okay, there's our connections. I'm not sure what we're going to do here as far as this screw goes. Is this going to throw it off, or is it going to make it straight? I don't think it makes much of a difference. That's just there to take out any potential slop in the rod. It doesn't really serve any purpose to the integrity of the apparatus. It's not structural. I do not want this rod getting all screwed up. Well, this is a tight fit here. Okay, it's ready to go up. Did not need this, did not need that. Don't need this in this particular install. Okay, here we go. I might need to move the ladder over in order to clear this. That was stupid. Yep, I gotta move this over now. Well, probably even a little bit more than that. Okay. Just the right spot. Okay, so this is much more difficult than normal because it's a very stiff piece of wire, not intended for this use case. So here we have two pieces of stranded wire which need to go into this dumb thing. Let's see how this works. It doesn't work because the wire does not go in far enough, because the what do you call it? The insulation prevents it. Yeah, I don't like these things at all. Really do not like them. So I will try to strip back the wire
and see if we can use it. If not, we'll just switch over to the better connector, which is the old school twist-on wire connector that's been fine for decades. Well, it grabbed the wire. How well is up for debate, but it did grab it. And there is an ease of use factor here. This is easier to make these connections than it is to make a good connection with a twist-on wire connector. But what's easier is often not what's better. So, you know, this is not intrinsically better. Easier to use, I suppose, especially in conditions like this where you're up on a ladder, but you know, again, is easier better? Not always. It does not necessarily indicate that it's better. Now these things are very easily coming up. I guess that doesn't release it until you've actually pushed it past there, but it's not very reassuring to look in here and see all those things flipped up like that. All right, let's get this put on with our stupid, flaky, way go the connectors. Way go is not the way I would go, but I'm trying it. Oh no, I don't have those screws up here. Oh, this is gonna look so good. I have to imagine going back to 1992 when this was sold, being able to walk in the store and buy as many of these as you want. Must have been awesome. This candy fits really nice. It is crooked, and it's because of this set screw.
It's probably going to go off kilter once I try to tighten it. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's pretty good. Right there, I think. Again, it doesn't really matter. It's just a formality. That's not what's holding it in place. The rod is what's holding it in place. $19.92. You know what? I think the shaft is bent on this, because the motor housing looks pretty straight and the motor looks straight, but the light looks totally bent. Ah, there we go. It just straightened out. That was weird. Oh, wouldn't be the weirdest thing that has happened around here. Seen much stranger things than that. I've seen much more things break than that too. Okay, time for some of the blades. That is such a nice fan. There must have been a group of people at Crest that designed this. That designed the cosmetics of this. And I always wonder if those people ever see these videos all these years later of us talking so highly about these things. You know, decades after they're supposedly outdated, whatever the heck that even means. Okay, the blades are all connected.
I would like to use 40-watt clear appliance bulbs in here. I don't think I have enough of them, but I'm going to go take a look and see if I can find some. I have 4 clear 40-watt appliance bulbs in this Crest, which I will use, but I think what I want to do is I'm going to try those ridiculous General Electric vintage style worm candle light amber glass medium base 40-watt CA10 165 lumen bulbs, because these are beautiful bulbs, even though the efficiency is just absolutely horrid. They might really draw out the amber tones of that fan. If they do, then tomorrow I will go buy more of those, even though I said I wasn't going to buy any more of those because they're ridiculous. I will go and buy some more. I don't have a clear bulb to put in the center. Maybe I'll just use this one because I'm going to cancel out this lamp any soon anyways. All the lamps get canceled out. Let's see if this fits in there. I don't think it will because it's very small. Yeah, okay, that didn't work. Well, I guess I should just stay with those little bulbs then. You know what? It doesn't matter. I got to get there. I don't have enough matching bulbs. I just want to try these in there and see what they look like. I suspect they'll look very nice. And the flame tip shape is nice as well. I get so many people, oh, you can't use a screwdriver to tighten those screws. You're gonna break the shades. Does this not fit? Is that bulb too long? Yeah, it is. All right, well, I can't use that in the center then. Have I ever broken a shade? Do any of my fans have broken shades on them? I mean, 99% of the times I work on a ceiling fan, it's on video. If I was breaking shades, you'd see it. Well, I might only be able to put those in the outer bulbs. Can you break the shade by tightening these too much? Sure. Do I tighten them too much? No. Use it within reason, you'll be fine. I use it within reason, I'll be fine.
None of the shit is broke. Alright, so we'll put 2 of each, I guess, and this will give us a good sample of what they look like.
Okay, install is complete.